Thank you so much for joining me and just honestly being transparent with those out there that may be going through the same struggles or just wanting to really get some insight on online coaching or in-person coaching or just personal training, like just this whole transformation. I just wanted to kind of tap in and really see when you first started, what was something that you were going through that you were just trying to work out? Like, what kind of started this whole process? Before we get into it, though, just tell them about yourself a little bit.
So I, of course, live here in Atlanta, Georgia. I work as a operation manager and a master bridal stylist for a store called Carrie's Bridal. And that takes a lot. It is a fulfilling job, but it is a very strenuous job. It takes a lot of energy physically, mentally, emotionally, because it's picking out people's wedding dresses. And then I am married, been married for like 8 years, and we have 2 boys who are 3 and 18 months. So I am constantly on the go doing something. Exactly. Which is great. I prayed a long time ago to be busy or never to feel idle in my daily life. So I appreciate being busy, even if sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is what it is. Take the good and the bad. After last year, with which everybody went through, just whatever pandemic-y thing was going on. Last year for me, I didn't have a horrible year, but I did, because we were in the house and just more, I think I did run to more just survival mode, and I wasn't really worried about like looking a certain way or feeling somewhere. I'm just like, look, I just need to make sure my kids are good, my husband's good, I'm good. So whether that be just eating what we could, no matter what it was, or drinking just to have a relaxation, since I didn't have a big disconnection from my kids. Mm-hmm. It caused like a lot of like weight gain, and even lesser than that, it just caused a lot of mental strain of feeling way more overwhelmed than I generally do. So I, when I contacted you, of course, I wanted to get back in shape because I think I'm at the point in my life where I'm probably about done with kids, and I just want to kind of feel like me again. But most of it was just trying to find something that was solely for me to help me navigate through the busyness of my day without it causing me to gain weight, like going to alcohol or going to ice cream or going to something that's like good to you, but not necessarily always good for you if you're doing it all the time. So I think my initial struggle was just finding something that was consistently going to help me, that was going to actually help me, like in a healthy way.
What do you feel like you've learned? Like, because we've been training, what has been like going on 5 months now. What do you feel like you've learned so far?
I mean, I've learned a lot, honestly. I've had personal trainers before, but I think the difference in, I've had a personal trainer before, but I think the difference in like signing up with one of these, franchise type gyms and then them assigning you a personal trainer is that they work you out, and I'm not gonna, downplay that. But I think you don't get the more personal one-on-one attention, and also the hyper focus not only on your physical but on your mental. Mm-hmm. Because I have learned that those things go hand in hand. Like now, after 6 months, my body craves movement. Like I could take a day or 2 off and that's fine. But if I take more than that, my body's like, what are we doing, girl? We're used to, you know what I mean, doing some kind of, even if it's just taking a long walk or something, we're used to now my body being somewhere. So I definitely crave it more. And then mentally, this has become something that is just for me. Like when we train on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I really look forward to it. I get so disappointed if something happens and I'm like, oh, I got to cancel or whatever. And for the month of March, I challenged myself to work out 5 days a week. As opposed to before, I was just doing 2, maybe 3 days, 2 with you and maybe picking up an extra day, like walking or whatever. But March, I was like, I really need to go into another level because my body's going to get used to what we're doing. And so I think it taught me just to not only, like, personal training should be training. It should be teaching you how to like go forth by yourself. I mean, you know what I mean? It will be a space where it's like, okay, we've trained for a year. At this point, you need to create and build your own routines based off what we've learned. So I think I've learned a lot of like things that I can do for myself that I've learned working with you that I can take on and be like, okay, now I can work 5 days a week. When I go to the gym, I'm not so intimidated. Like I know how to use these machines,
Yeah.
or I know how much cardio I should be doing, or I know how to eat. Like I may not log everything like I should, but I now know how much to eat and
Yeah.
how that looks. Even in alcohol, like I know what I need to, how I need to drink. And if I drink a certain amount, I need to be like, all right, now next day I need to do some sprints or, you know, kind of burn it off. So I've learned just how to treat my body in a way that's going to just make it better and better and better as it.
Yeah. No,
It's been very helpful.
I love all of that because essentially that's what I want for all of my clients. And when it comes to coaching, a lot of the time you'll get people that come in and they think that, you know, we as coaches will fix the problem. All we do is really
Right.
guide and give you the tools and hold you accountable to just continue on this journey while in a program and then moving out of the program so that you're able to sustain this long term, just giving you that sustainable tools and not just giving you, hey, here's this XYZ, go do that. And then
Right.
all of your problems will be solved, because that's not the case. Because like you said, you're super busy, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a business owner, you do podcasting, a whole bunch of stuff. You do a bunch of stuff. So it's just kind of like,
Right.
you're always going to be popping up and happening. And it's just kind of like, when life happens, what do? You know, it's like
Right.
you don't have a coach at the time. Like you just give up and just let everything just hit the fan, or do you just do keep going and try your best every day? But just wanted to conclude this chat. What would you tell someone just honestly that is interested in online training or just coaching, holistic health coaching, anything like that? What kind of advice would you give them?
I would say find the purpose that you want to go into a space where someone is going to hold you accountable, because if you're not ready to be held accountable, then it's probably going to be more of a struggle for you. Because one thing I've realized is that as I'm going through this, I have not only just like hired you, but I've partnered with like my friends who are dedicated to their fitness journey. It's been helpful because I have accountability coming from everywhere. Like one of my good friends who works with me, she's also on a fitness journey. She has a personal trainer, and we're both like, okay, what can we do this month to challenge ourselves? Like it's just a constant thing. So I think my advice would be, make sure you are ready and have a purpose of why you want to kind of take a journey, where whether it's just for mental health or just for physical health or whatever it is. And then two, outside of your personal trainer, you need to find another way to be held accountable, whether it's a friend of yours or if it's starting to filter your social media. Like I've really changed my social media around to follow more personal trainers and people who are working out, because when I see that every day, because I'm going to scroll on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, when I see that every day, I'm like, oh, I need to get on my shit. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, right.
These people out here working out. There's pregnant people out here working out. So if you see that, instead of people like at bars or partying or things like that, like your mind is a sponge. So I think you just have to make sure that you're ready to kind of not just change your body, but change your lifestyle. Because it's a lifestyle change. It's not just going to working out. People are like, Instagram, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I am not on any diet. I don't like that word. That word comes with a lot of hurt for me. So I don't do diets. I just eat better. Like,
yes, we don't do diets. Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, once a diet ends,
that.
then what? Like once you do keto for 3 months, then what? You go back to being fat again? Like what happens? Or unhealthy again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just be ready for a lifestyle change. Don't be ready just to lose weight. Don't be ready just to do whatever. Be ready for a complete like overhaul of your life, because that's where you see the change, when you actually are like, okay, I'm not going to drink every day. I am going to drink with purpose and like conscious mind. Like, okay, maybe just 2 drinks is good enough, not a bottle.
Girl, you speaking to fire, okay? But thank you so much, Ebony, for just sharing your experience and honestly your testimony. I mean, this is so much more, like you said, than just weight loss. Even though you've experienced weight loss, and I know you're still on this journey of feeling stronger and just being a better version of you. You know, you've definitely made some strides. And again, this is transformational. This is life-changing. This is something that we got to do for the rest of our lives. So
I agree. Well, I'm gonna give you your flowers.